The Minesweeper Condor was on the entrance of Pearl Harbor when officers saw a periscope, and there's not supposed to be any submarines in the area. The Condor sends a blinker light message to the destroyer ward, saying sighted 7 emerged, submarine on westerly course, speed 9 knots. Already in flight to attack Pearl Harbor, the commander of the Japanese air attacks. He said his aircraft carriers are rocking on choppy sea, the carriers turning to the wind, and the first wave of planes emerge. 183 fighters, bombers, and torpedo planes roar into the sky. The U.S. destroyer Ward moves in for the kill. Captain William Outbridge orders man to commence firing. The first shot misses. The second shot strikes a submarine at the waterline. The submarine slows down and sinks. The Army's Apana Mobile Radar Station is one of the radar stations on Oahu. Radar is a new defense tool in Hawaii. 2 privates on duty look at their radar and can't believe their eyes. There are 50 or more aircrafts on the bearing for Oahu. The privates call Fort Shafter Information Center to tell the news. The ward had sent out its message that it attacked an unidentified sub in code. Headquarters to code the message. The message makes its way to the top. Husband E. Kimmel, Commander-in-Chief of the Pacific Fleet, said there's been a lot of false reports of submarines recently, which made Kimmel decide to wait for verification of the report. An Army lieutenant who was in training at the Radio Network Operations Center gets a radar station report. By now, the planes are 70 miles away. The lieutenant believes that the radar picked up with flight of US B-17 Flying Fortress bombers heading from California to Hawaii. For security reasons, he cannot tell this radar to the operator. All he says is all is well. Don't worry about it. U.S. code breakers have cracked the Japanese diplomatic code. From a Tokyo to Washington message, President Franklin D. Roosevelt and General George C. Marshall, Army Chief of Staff, learned that Japanese negotiators in Washington have been told to break off talks. Believing this may mean war, Marshall sends a warning to Lieutenant General Walter C. Short, commander of U.S. Army forces in Hawaii. Air Attack Commander Mitsuo Fuchida, looking down on Pearl Harbor, sees no aircraft carriers and orders his telegraph operator to tap out the command to attack. At the command center on Ford Island, Commander Logan C. Ramsey looks out a window to see a low-flying plane. A reckless U.S. pilot, he thinks. Then he sees something black fall out of that plane and realizes it's a bomb. Ramsey runs to a radio room and orders the telegraph operators to send out an uncoded message to every ship and base. Air raid on Pearl Harbor. This is not drill. An armor-piercing bomb dropped by a high-altitude bomber pierces the forward deck of the Arizona, setting off more than 1 million pounds of gunpowder, creating a huge fireball and killing 1,177 men. A sailor on the torpedoed battleship Nevada sees the Arizona jump at least 15 or 20 feet upward in the water and sort of break in two. In 9 minutes, the Arizona is on the bottom. Through the flames and smoke, the destroyer helm speeds to the open sea. As the helm leaves the channel, a lookout spots a Japanese sub snagged on a reef. The helm turned hard right toward enemy submarine, shoots and misses. The 2-person sub breaks free and submerges, but it snags again. Trying to escape the foundering sub, 1 crewman drowns. The other is washed ashore and becomes the United States' first World War II prisoner of war. The Nevada gets her steam up in 45 minutes, and with anti-aircraft guns blazing, heads for the open sea. A sailor sees her U.S. flag flying in the smoke and thinks of the words of the Star-Spangled Banner. Japanese planes of the second wave bomb her, hoping that by sinking her in the narrow channel, she will bottle up the fleet. Rather than risk that, she deliberately grounds herself off a hospital point. A bomb blows off the bow of the destroyer Shaw. Pieces of the ship rain down half a mile away. A photo of the spectacular explosion becomes one of the best-known images of December 7, 1941. Except for the Arizona, Utah, and Oklahoma, every ship sunk or damaged on December 7th will sail again. From the ships and airfields come the wounded, some horribly burned, others riddled by bullets. At some hospitals, casualties are laid out on lawns. Medics convert barracks, dining halls, and schools into temporary hospitals. For many severely wounded and dying men, all nurses can do is give them morphine. They then put a lipstick M on their foreheads to indicate the pain-killing drug. Trucks become ambulances and hearses. The death toll eventually reaches 2,390.